Hi Hooplovers, Deanne Love here. Last week on the Hooplovers Facebook page, I wrote this. What do you want to learn? No matter how challenging or foundational, if you could learn 3 things to do with your hoop this month, what would they be? And I asked you to be as specific or as broad and abstract as you like. And I was really happy to hear all of your replies, or to read all of your replies, because there was a huge scope. Now, I'm going to create some tutorials that respond to what you answered. And the first one that I'm going to do today is for Emily Dittman. Hey Emily, Emily bought a Hooplovers hoop and she's a total beginner and she's starting now, and her answer was, I want to be able to keep the hoop on my waist for more than 4 rotations. I'm a very new beginner. Hey Emily, and all of you beginner hoopers out there, the first thing that you need to think about when you're starting to waist hoop is that you need the right size hula hoop for you. Now, generally speaking, the right size hula hoop should touch the ground and kind of come up to about your belly button. That is a good size to start with. Some people prefer a thicker, heavier weight, and others like the lightweight dance hoops. Having the wrong size hula hoop or a too small hula hoop for you is like wearing stilettos and trying to run a marathon, I guess. I mean, I could never run a marathon, and come to think of it, I can't wear stilettos either. Anyway, you need the right size hula hoop. And the next thing you need to remember is that if your body is not used to hula hooping or doing all this wild, crazy movement, then you can't expect it just to instantly want to do it. Although there are some tips that I'm going to give you that will help you out. So first of all, before you even start hula hooping, I want you just to check in with your body, stand up nice and tall and straight, shoulders back and down, and just kind of soften the knees and keep the body loose. Now, you can do this with or without music. First of all, I just want you to shake your knees only. Just feel that movement in your knees. And then I want you to shake your hips and see the difference. And then I want you to kind of squish it around and make your belly all move. And then we're going to go up to the chest. And notice that your body is so amazing that it makes movement in different parts. And what you need to always remember when you're hula hooping, no matter what part of the body it's on, is the movement needs to come from the same place on your body that the hula hoop is contacting. So for example, if you want to hula hoop on your waist, then you need to make that squishy, pushy, pulsy movement from your waist. If you want to hoop on your hips, then the movement needs to come from your hips, and also chest, knees, all over. And the other thing is that movement can't come from those other places. So if you're trying to hula hoop on your waist and your knees are moving and your bottom's moving and your chest is moving, then the hoop gets really confused and it doesn't know where to stay. So first of all, it's really important to check in with your posture and check in with where the movement is coming from. Now you also need to remember that gravity is intense and it will pull the hula hoop down, so you need to work it. Now I make it look fairly easy, but I've been practicing this for 6 years. In the beginning, it was never this way. I really couldn't get the timing right, I couldn't get the push or the contact points right. So give yourself some time. So checking in with your posture, making sure that where you want to spin the hula hoop on your body is the part that's moving, giving the hoop a big flat spin in towards your belly, and you're going to push forwards and backwards, remembering not to use too much of the knee movement, the bottom movement, or the chest movement. Try and keep that belly pulsing into the hoop, and also the back as well. Now you can have your feet side to side and kind of shimmy side to side, or you can have one foot in front of the other, or you might even play around with standing up nice and tall and keeping a really intense circus posture. Just see, if you put your feet together and keep your body nice and long, then you're going to really feel where it is that you have to contact the hula hoop with. Alright, so did we get that? We want to keep a really cool posture, nice and balanced, keeping our center. We want to make sure that we're standing up nice and straight and that we give the hoop a really flat but big push. And then keeping that posture, the movement is going to come from where you want the hoop to contact, so not other places. It is really, really common, and I see this a lot, and it's perfectly okay, we're just going to correct it a little, is that when people hula hoop on their waist, they can't keep the momentum because there's so much action in their legs and their bottom. And that's because, you know, your legs, they're the biggest muscles in your body. They want to take over, but remember to push with your belly. This can take some time. So the next thing, once you do get more than 4 spins or however many spins, it's really good to just keep working and working, and you're pushing into that hoop. If you do feel it dropping and it's kind of losing momentum, you're just going to go faster, harder, pushing with the area that you want the hoop to contact. When it drops, faster, harder. And then when that starts to happen for you and you can really just connect with the part that you want to push the hoop with, you can start to make small circles, stepping around, keeping the push from the belly. You might step out to one side and then to the center. You might kind of walk across the room. You might get really courageous and put on some music and really rock out and start to move. Now, if you do want a crazy challenge, you can stop the hoop's momentum and send it in the opposite direction and just see how wild it is to go in another direction with the hoop, and then put it back into the direction that feels really good. Thank you, Hoopers. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please make sure that you share it with your Hooper friends so that they can strengthen their Super Hooper powers. And if you have any requests about anything to do with hooping, please leave me a comment on the Hooplovers Facebook page.